What's up, y'all? It's a great day to be here at the Floridian. It's Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play, and we have the Mr. October Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic. We've got some big names, and it's all for a great reason and a good cause. So get ready to watch some good golf, and of course, watch us play. All right, standing here with Lawrence Taylor, the great. First and foremost, I know that the foundation has many reasons of why they're here. Why is it important to you to help give a career platform to kids that are underserved?
You know what? I take it. That's what I do also. So with my foundation, but Reggie, one of the greatest athletes of all times, and when he say, "Come to my event," I don't have a choice. I come to his event, okay? But hey, he does a great job. I mean, he raises a lot of money, and look at all the celebrities that are here, man. That's what he has done. That's what he is. He's turned his life into, and what he wants to do with his charity, and everybody supports him, and I couldn't support a greater person than Reggie.
Feels like he sets the standard a bit when it comes to being able to be philanthropic and also set people up for a good time, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what that one word you said philanthropic is, but yeah.
He's doing good.
He's doing good. He's doing good.
Last one, I got to ask you,
Okay.
you're the standard bearer when it comes to your position. You get compared to so many people so often. Who do you feel like has come the close, and in which comparison do you hear where you're like, hold on now, that guy's got a long way to go?
Well, I mean, I just, it's a different era. I mean, listen, hey, I couldn't play in this era because you can't hit nobody. So I mean, hey, I couldn't do this. I mean, I just want to leave my helmet in the daggone locker room. So as far as there's a lot of great players out there, and I tell you, a lot of great athletes. And who's the best? Who's this? Who's that? Who knows? But at the end of the day, I am happy that I'm still in the running. Okay.
Gotta love that. Hit him straight, man.
Okay.
Thank
you, buddy.
Now approaching hole number 3, we have Lawrence Taylor's foursome. First up, we have Rich Caputo. Now approaching the tee, Robbie Redmond. Now approaching the tee, Mike Denver. Now approaching the tee, Jeff McClendon. Last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Lawrence Taylor approaching the tee.
Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play here with Mo Amer. And first and foremost, man, we're here for a good reason.
Yes.
Why do you feel like it's important to give a career platform to underserved kids?
I mean, that goes without saying. Like, we have to support the children. It's very, very important. It's our future. I mean, it sounds all cliche. All the things I'm saying are cliche, but they're incredibly, incredibly important to make sure that we set up the proper foundations for them to be successful in the future.
Of course, ESPN West Palm Play here, and of course, we're at the Mr. O Foundation Celebrity Golf Tournament, and we got Brooks Koepka. First and foremost, what made it so important for you to come out here today?
Reggie's been fantastic. It's a good cause. You're just trying to support it. It's for the kids. So we're happy to be here and excited. We're going to have a good day.
Perfect. Appreciate you that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
First approaching hole number 3, we have Reggie Saunders. Now approaching the tee, we have Kyle McLaughlin. Nope. Next up to the tee, we have Mo Amer. Next up, we have Mr. Anthony Mackie. Last but not least, Mr. Brooks Koepka, approaching hole number 3.
Theo Dorsey, ESPN West Palm Play, joined by the one and only 81, Terrell Owens. And why is it important for you to provide a career platform for kids in underserved areas?
I mean, you know, kids are the future. And for myself, obviously, just to come out here and support Reggie and everything that he's doing and has done, as you know, and everybody has spoken highly of him, just to come out here and just be behind him and support him, it's important for all of us.
Now, you've played with some elite level quarterbacks, man. When you see what Patrick Mahomes is doing today, what is he? I mean, imagine catching balls from a guy like that. What is it? What is this play like right now?
Oh, I mean, he's definitely playing at an elite level. Obviously, he's a guy that can obviously stand in the pocket, make plays, and as you've seen in the playoffs, a lot of the plays that are being made is made with their feet. So, again, obviously, you want to catch the balls. Again, like I said, I became very viable option. I made myself available when guys get out of the pocket and can find somebody down the field to make plays. So I mean, he just shows you kind of like just the dynamic of his playmaking ability, not just with his arm but with his feet. But it's all about decision making, and that's why these guys are playing at the elite level that they are and going on to the Super Bowl.
The stage just got set. You said the Super Bowl. You got Niners ties. Can we get your first on-paper prediction for this game?
Man, I don't know, man. Last night was it was scary. It's gonna be a showdown. You think about, again, Brock Purdy last night. He showed again. If nothing's available, you got to take what the defense gives you, and that's what both of those guys can do. So again, I don't have a number in the top of my head, but it's gonna be a good football game.
Gotcha. Next time, man, bring some of that 81 Vino, Doc.
Hey, I will. If you like some good cab, 81vino.com. Go get it.
Now approaching the tee, Dale Lum. Next up, we have Mr. Nick Saban. Now approaching the tee, James Nicholas. Mr. Tim Petro. Last but not least, Mr. Wayne Pace approaching the tee.
Theo Dorsey, ESPN West Palm Play, here joined by Dr. J. Julius Erving. First, I want to start with just what we're doing out here today. Why do you think it's so important to provide a good career platform to kids that are underserved?
Well, I think kids are our future, and they look to us, the seniors, and then the present-day athletes and entertainers as role models, hopefully to inspire them a little bit, to make them feel that they can be better than they are and, you know, strive to be the best, dare to be great. So coming to Reggie's event is all about that. You know, he has connections with schools all over the country, and I've been able to support him for the better part of 20 years, knowing him almost 30 years. So when Reggie calls, you come.
You inspired so many people with your play and with your, not just how well you play, but the theatrics of it. Who kind of pops off the court these days when you see him in the NBA?
Well, Kawhi Leonard was my favorite player for a long period of time. I think Mikal Bridges is moving him out of that spot, but he's not going away easily. But I like Mikal Bridges.
I like that. I like that one. You and I think it's one of the celebrities said that recently as well. Her, the singer Her. So you and her have that in common.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. And we've been together on the stage and at a lunch in New York a long time ago. So I might have to reconnect with her since she's thinking like I'm thinking.
There it is. Thank you, man.
Now approaching the tee, Mr. Gene Schatz. Next up, Miss Dr. J. You may go. Now approaching the tee, the Craig Huff. Now approaching the tee, Mr. Von Crow, otherwise known as Birdie Man. Last but certainly not least, we have Mr. John Vasky approaching the hole.
Obviously, the Mr. October Foundation does so many great things. Why do you think it's important to give kids, underserved kids, career platforms to get them kind of get their journey started?
Well, I think it's great because not only is Mr. October leaving a legacy, but it's also inspiring other people, also helping the community to become better humans, better athletes. Everything is just great about this tournament and what he does.
Why do so many people come out in droves when Reggie Jackson picks up the phone and calls? What is it about that call?
Respect. That's what it's all about. It's respect for someone doing something great. And not only was he great in the field in life, but also what he's doing is even better. And it's really shocking to see someone that has been so successful at such an age still continue to want to give back. And that's what we all respect. And that's why I'm here, and that's why many of the people that are here are doing it for. Because they have respect for what he does, and we all think it's great what he does.
Now, we all have a heavy amount of respect for you as a world-class athlete. Why you lead the clubs at home today?
Well, because I'm not really an expert on this one. I might have been a good athlete in the field, but not in the golf course. Now, when it comes to fishing, I'll take my chances.
Okay, got you. So when we get the fishing tournament going, we'll call you up. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play. I got Pudge Rodriguez here, and the question is, obviously, this foundation does so many great things. Why is it important to provide underserved kids with a career-oriented platform to get them on their way?
Well, I think it's important for us to be here and supporting Reggie. Reggie's been doing this for a really long time, and basically what he's doing is tremendous. I think the kids are the future for tomorrow, and the best that we can give all this help to these kids is going to be good for them, and that's what we're here. We're here just to keep supporting Reggie. He's been amazing doing all that, and he loves it. The best thing about that he loves what he's doing to this kid, and it's not a better place here in Floridian to do this tournament. And so whatever for me that I can help, I'll be there, especially for the kids, and it's a great day to be here.
Appreciate you. Hit them straight today.
All right, thank you.
Now approaching the tee, Pudge Rodriguez. Next to approach the tee, David Watman. Next up, Mr. Alan Hennick. Woo! Howard Butnick. You may now approach the tee. Approaching the tee, Mr. Howard Butnick. All right, now last, but certainly not least, Mr. Paul Brensilber.
Theo Dorsey here with ESPN West Palm Play, joined by Albert Pujols, who's out here at the Mr. October Celebrity Golf Classic. First and foremost, why is it important to do things like this which support giving a career, providing platform to underserved kids?
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's use your platform, that God has given you, for us as a baseball player, and giving back to the community, to kids. I mean, I have a foundation myself, for 19 years now, and it's about giving back to the community, and the people that we love.
It seems like everybody comes out in droves for Reggie Jackson. What is it about that guy and his foundation that gets the energy going for people like you?
Well, forget about, what he did in the Diamond. We all know those numbers, but the great man that he is, it's about giving and just great human being, just to be around him. I mean, he's 77 years old. I mean, I got a chance to play golf with him the other day, and I wish I can look like that when I'm 77. So it's just a great heart, about giving back. So for me to be here today is just an honor and a blessing.
Has your baseball swing translated yet, or how's it looking on the course today?
It's okay, no bad. I think, I love the game. I mean, this is about the only game that as a baseball player you can do without getting hurt, unless you get hit in the head by the golf ball, from somebody. But this is a fun game that I enjoy. I get to play with my son a lot, so it's just fun and bunch of great group of guys, to play with, and golf is about that,
Good luck out there. Thank you.
Now approaching the tee, we have Mr. Albert Pujols. Now approaching the tee, Mr. AJ Pujols. Next up to the tee, Mr. Randy Buller. Now approaching the tee, Mr. Blake Buller. Next up to the tee, Mr. Steve Gersh. Last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Robert Riesberg approaching the tee. Oh!
Theo Dorsey, ESPN West Palm Play, joined by George Britt, who we can start with this. I mean, yesterday was magical, right? What are you feeling right now coming off of that huge Chiefs win, and what's your prediction for the Super Bowl?
Well, I got to go the Chiefs. I've lived in Kansas City 50 years, but you know what's crazy about when they lost their fourth or fifth or sixth game of the year, I'm going, they just don't have it. But they're peaking at the right time. I mean, it's amazing to go to Buffalo and win on the road, and then Baltimore and win on the road, and now they're going to go to Vegas. I took all my kids last year to the Super Bowl in Phoenix, and I was flying here yesterday. I was watching the game here from where are we? What city
we're
is
Palm
this?
City, but you were in West Palm or
Yeah,
Port St. Lucie?
well, I was watching here at the Floridian
Okay,
in the house, and as soon as that game ended, all my kids texted me and they said, "Dad, are we going to Las Vegas?" I'm going, "You got to be kidding me! That's an expensive trip."
Are you?
I haven't decided yet. I will call the president of the Chiefs, Mark Donovan, who's a good friend, and say, "Mark, what are the tickets going to cost me?" Because that's who we got them from last year. I think they were like, God, $8,000 a pop or something, but I might go. But I live in Arizona, and it's the final day of the waste management.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a shit show, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of like doing that. So I don't know. I'll probably go to the game. I'll probably be going.
And then most importantly, we got to talk about why we're here. Why do you think it's important to be giving a platform to kids who are underserved to make sure that they're ready for career opportunities or whatever's next in their life?
It's very important. That's what a good education does for you too, you know, and to give these people, give these kids a chance to succeed later in life, I think is something special. Reggie does a great job. I mean, I play in a lot of these little tournaments to raise money. I've never seen a field like this with so many basketball players, fighters, baseball players, football players. It's amazing. It's an amazing field, and I feel very honored that he invites me every year.
Thank you, and good luck today.
Okay, thank you.
For Mr. George Brett's group, we have Michael Glazier. Next up to the tee, Mr. Ron Aparicio. Next up to the tee, Mr. Glenn Barco. Next up to the tee, Mr. Jamie Farina. Last, but certainly not least, from Kansas City, Mr. George Brett.
Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play, and now we're joined by maybe the flyest guy to step on the course here today at the Floridian for the Mr. October Foundation Celebrity Golf Outing. And first and foremost, man, you got to talk about the fit. You said you got some Yay area influence and whatnot. What you cooking up?
Hey, man, something slight, man. Got the Kango line, you know how to do a little old school with it, man. Got a nice little, fly little shirt, something calm, man. But, you know, I just wanted to make sure I knew where I was going to be, man, so I wanted to make sure I came out looking good and looking fly, man, so.
He's an artist, Jay Walt. He's also a nephew of Reggie Jackson, the man who makes all of this possible. For you, how important is the work that the foundation does in the underserved youth and giving them a platform and also just the tools they need to be able to succeed at the next level?
Yeah, it's everything. It's huge, you know. We need more people doing stuff like this, you know. Especially just within the underserved community and the black and brown community, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need people who at that stature, like the Reggie Jacksons, and you saw Albert Pujols, and a lot of different people who are here and giving back to the community, because underserved communities and the kids can look at that and be like, wow, I could get there one day, you know, and I could do the same thing, you know, especially having people who look like them, you know. So it's everything, man. It's huge, and it's a beautiful thing. So the work that the foundation is doing is needed, and it's just the beginning. It's just getting started, you know. So more work to be done, but, you know, it's everything. It's big.
Perfect. Perfect. Appreciate the rest of the outing. I know you're not hitting any balls, but keep making hits in the studio then.
Come on, love, man. Appreciate it, man.
Theo Dorsey here with John Smoltz, a man that really needs no introduction. But, I mean, this foundation, the Mr. October Foundation and what it does, at this point, you know, knowing that it's giving underserved kids the platform and the tools they need to succeed at the next level, how important is the work that the Mr. October Foundation is doing?
It's fantastic. I mean, Reggie is he's Mr. October. You know, we all grew up watching him do his thing, and now he's giving back in an incredible way. And when you see the kind of celebrities that show up for a man, that says a lot. So to give back in the way that Reggie has, and to have people have a chance that wouldn't ordinarily have a chance, it's pretty cool to be part of.
Got you. And then secondly, for you, why was it important for you specifically? You talk about the celebrities. I mean, you're one of them that's important to this cause. Why does it hit home for you?
Well, for me, that's always what I've been about. That's how I was raised growing up. My parents did a great job, and every chance I can to shed light or give an opportunity to somebody who didn't have it and just participate in involvement. I've been part of community work for a long time, and you know, there's a network of celebrities that do a great job, and Reggie does.
And then lastly, I mean, who would you like to see in the Cooperstown that hasn't gotten in yet personally? This is a personal one. I'm just curious on your angle.
This is easy for me. Andrew Jones, best center fielder ever played a game as far as I'm concerned. Since I was benefactor of pitching and him catching all those fly balls, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Perfect. Well, we're going to hope that he gets there as well. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Pleasure.
Yep.
Welcome to hole number 3. John Smoltz' foursome. First up to the tee, we have Mr. Brian Porta. Next up to the tee, Mr. Chris Little. Next up to the tee, Mr. Chip Busker. Next up to the tee, Mr. Tim Stevens. Last but certainly not least, approaching the tee at hole number 3, we have Mr. John Smoltz.
Theo Dorsey here at the Floridian with Ozzie Smith. Hall of Famer, a great, and also another person that's contributing to this great cause that the Mr. October Foundation is into. Why is it important to give a platform that can help underserved kids get career-oriented and have the tools they need to take that next step?
That is it, you know, and I think that most of the guys that are here understand the importance of giving back, and it's one of the greatest assets in life is the ability to give back, and guys are here because they understand the importance of that.
For you personally, I mean, Reggie Jackson, obviously, he's a guy that gets everybody to come out. Why is he special to you?
Well, because he's Reggie. You know, there's only one Reggie, and he's been doing this a long time. And he's always been one of those people that I've admired. All of us have admired and stuff. And the guys that are here are all guys that probably a lot of us have played in the same era and stuff. And we admire each other's work. And the work that he's doing for kids and giving back is also important, and we all understand that. That's why we're here.
Perfect. And if you'll humor me, I know you've been in the hall now for, 22 years. We just
Longer
had.
than I played.
Yeah. Who do you think is missing from it that's eligible, that hasn't gotten their shot yet, that you say, man, that guy needs to be in Cooperstown?
Well, you know, when I look back at it, at some of the players that I had a chance to play with and against, you know, one that comes to mind right away is David Concepcion as a shortstop, and Dave Parker probably as an outfielder.
Past due.
Past due.
Perfect. Appreciate you. Good luck out there.
Alrighty.
Now approaching the hole, Mr. Ozzie Smith.
Because of the wonderful things he does.
Perfect.
Next up on the tee, we have Mr. Chad Morrow. Now approaching the tee, we have Mr. Greg Astle. Next up to the tee, Mr. Neville Boston. And last but certainly not least, from Mr. Ozzie Smith's foursome. Now approaching the tee, Mr. Ash Shukri.
Theo Dorsey, ESPN West Palm Play, also Mo City native, joined by one of the most prolific Mo City natives of all time, and that's Thurman Thomas. First and foremost, can we just talk about the Mr. O Foundation, what they do in providing a platform for the kids who need some of these tools to be able to go out into the world and work in careers and opportunities past school. Why is it important what they do?
It's very important because we don't have this type of training anymore. And I think Reggie and his foundation has really done a great job in the last couple of years to really put this out there to see that this is what we need to grow as young women and young men, that we need an opportunity like this to learn a trade, to do things that, that's not normal, and I think he's done a great job with this, and I'm happy to support him at anything that he does.
All right, I got to ask you about kind of coming up in Mo City back in the day before my time, but being a big impact there at Willow Ridge and going off into the world. Just for you personally, what does it mean to be one of the most prestigious alumnus of that school, and how much do we need to make sure that they're promoting that up some more, man?
Exactly. You know what? I love my school, Willow Ridge Eagles, and we've been there since 1979, I think it was, and we've won a couple of state championships in football and in basketball, and you know what? For us to really, continue to be on the map. But when you look around that area, there's more schools that are being built. And right now, Willow Ridge is kind of, I wish they would use me more, a little bit more to promote the school and what they're doing. But, hey, I'm a proud Eagle and I love being there and love having the opportunity to go back and seeing my old teachers and some of my old teammates. So it's great.
I'm going to make sure. We're gonna put that call in Willow Ridge to get Thurman Thomas. We need to be singing the praises. And lastly, I got to ask you about just the NFL today. I mean, you see what Patrick Mahomes has been doing. I know he did it to your Bills and whatnot, but how do you even define what this dude is doing so early in his career, so dominantly?
You know what? It's one of those things where an athlete comes along and performs the way that he's performed. I mean, he's been in the league for 6 years. This is his fourth Super Bowl, and hey, I'm just glad that he's from Texas.
Yeah,
I'm just glad that he's from Texas and not California or Florida. And he's had a remarkable career so far, and I don't see him slowing down any. I think he has a great coach in Andy Reid, and they work really good magic together. So hey, man, hats off to him, man.
Can I lastly get a Super Bowl prediction? I know it's early. You probably want to look into the matchup.
No, I'm an AFC guy. Every year I go for the AFC. So I mean, even though Kansas City did beat my Bills, and they're like the top standard of the NFL right now, and so I'm an AFC guy, so I'm going to go for the Chiefs. I love their fans, and even from then, Neil Smith, Derek Thomas, way back when, I've always been a Chiefs fan, so I'm pulling for the Chiefs.
Appreciate you. Congrats,
right.
And good luck out there on the court.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
We have Mr. Ian Aarons. Next to the tee, we have Mr. Brad Balda. Next up to the tee, Mr. Dan Peasley. Now, David Lee to the tee. Last, but certainly not least, from Mo City, Texas, Thurman Thomas.
Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm, joined by the one and only Roland Martin here at the Mr. O Foundation Celebrity Golf Tournament. First and foremost, how important is the mission of the Mr. October Foundation, providing kids with a platform and also preparing them for those next steps in life?
Well, first, a lot of people have no idea the amount of philanthropic work many of our former and current athletes do, and especially when it comes to education. I had a chance to chat with Reggie yesterday, the stuff that they're doing when it comes to STEM, and he wants that to actually be a significant part of his legacy. I think all too often we talk about, obviously, the exploits on the baseball field or on a basketball court or football field. But if you think about the thousands of young folks who have been helped tremendously with this foundation and others, it really is critical. And I think we have to, a few years ago, I actually did an entire show on philanthropic efforts of athletes, and we don't talk enough about it.
Also, philanthropic efforts by Travis Scott, a Houston native, Missouri City, Texas native, who also is getting his name now on the ballpark out here in West Palm Beach. For you as a Houston native, how proud are you of a young guy like him who not only has this Cactus Jack Foundation that does so many great things, but also is making that big announcement and is kind of reinvesting into the Houston Astros and something that's here in West Palm Beach?
Well, for me, I grew up, me, my brother, and my sister were part of the Astros Buddies Club. We used to go to 30 or 40 games a year as kids, and my uncle Cliff Johnson played for the Astros. So it's always good to see H-Town folks expanding beyond where we are. So I'm glad to hear what Travis is doing, and we're going to keep handling our business. Oh, and by the way, Rangers, we coming to get our title. Just want to let y'all know that. We coming to get our trophy back.
He said it, and you popping out with the orange as well, so they know you see
it. You don't say. Well, see, this was the first championship, and see, I represent H-Town fully. Cause see, we even got the Astro shoes, we got the socks.
The socks going,
of course, and I got the bag. So so I was in the George Lopez golf tournament the year we won the title. Dodgers fans were a little hot. Then they actually put me with Puig, and so when we marked my ball, he had to actually see this was the World Champions coin, and so every time I marked my ball, he had to look at this here. So and he couldn't hit a golf ball to save his life, and every time he couldn't hit, and every time he would shank one, I would go Verlander, and he would go, damn, I still can't hit Verlander.
That's messed up. That's messed up.
Oh yeah, I will troll you.
Yeah,
I will troll you absolutely.
Well, that I know. Appreciate you rolling him well.
Appreciate it. Thanks much.
Now approaching tee number 3, we have Miss Jordan Webster. Now approaching the hole, we have Mr. Joshua Webster.
Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play, and I'm joined by the man that, I mean, you see his face all the time still these days, Grant Hill. First and foremost, when Reggie Jackson makes that call, why is it so important for a guy like you to come and show up?
Well, you know, Reggie Jackson is just a role model, an example for all of us former athletes, just his excellence on the field, off the field, and yeah, get a chance to come out and support him and his foundation and their efforts. Play great golf here at this wonderful course. It's a win-win for everybody.
Why is it so important to prepare kids and give them that career-oriented platform so that those next steps that they take outside of school put them in a position where they're attracted to organizations, they're attracted to career opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously an education is vitally important and necessary, but I think giving sort of young people a vision, giving them the tools, the resources to find their career and really find fulfillment and success is so necessary. And so for him to recognize the need for that and to really lean in with his foundation and their efforts is pretty incredible.
Lastly, who do you think's more hated right now, the Duke Blue Devils or Patrick Mahomes and those Chiefs?
Depends where you are. If you're in Baltimore, then it might be the Chiefs. If you're in Chapel Hill, it might be Duke.
Just depends. That's a good call. Yeah. This guy is so level. Appreciate you.
Now approaching the tee, we have Mr. Jason Mooneyham. Now approaching the tee, we have Mr. Grant Hill.
Theo Dorsey with Adrian Peterson here at the Mr. October Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic. And first off, AP, how's it been going for you out there, man?
It's been going okay. You know, I think I'm just now starting to warm up a little bit, but it's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. My team is carrying me right now, so I'm appreciative.
Well, you carried a lot of teams yourself in your day, so that's payback, right?
Yeah, a little payback, you know, give back.
Why is it important to you to, for especially the Mr. O Foundation, they're equipping kids with the skills, the tools that they need so that when they go off from high school, they're able to go out into college, go out into the world, get career opportunities. Why is that important, what the Mr. O Foundation is doing?
No, it's extremely important to be able to, for him to be able to accomplish what he accomplished in the era that he accomplished it, and then now in this era to be in a position to help kids and inspire the youth. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, I remember growing up as a youngster And there's a guy by the name of Hunker Cooper who came out of Palisade, Texas. He coming back and doing camps and doing his little foundation dinner down there. I know what that meant to me and how they inspired me and uplifted me to work harder and to grind harder. So it's incredible what Reggie is doing with his platform, and it's helping millions of kids.
And lastly, you have one of my favorite quotes about my favorite quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. You know what it is?
What's that?
When I seen him throw that ball, can we do it? Can you do it one time?
I don't know if I can duplicate it, but let me see.
When I seen him throw that ball. Yeah.
When I seen him throw that ball.
Did you know it was going to go that viral, man?
I didn't know. But when I look back at it now, it was like, it was kind of, but it was just me being natural. I was just like,
it was like that.
It's authentic. It was just like he's from White House, Texas, another product, 30 minutes from Palestine, by the way.
Yeah.
We produce nothing but dogs.
Mo City, Texas, by the way.
East Texas. Okay, I live in Mo City.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah, I'm out
man.
there in Sienna. Yeah. But yeah, like Patrick Mahomes, the truth. When I see him throw that ball, I knew he was a real deal.
That's how we gonna end it. Appreciate you, dog.
Now approaching the tee, we have Mr. Brian Higgins. Now approaching the tee, we have Mr. Zach Jacklin. Next to approach the tee, we have Mr. Joe Lennon. Next to the tee, we have Mr. Tom Dipple. Or, if you prefer, Tom DePel on the European Tour. Last but certainly not least, to approach hole number 3, Mr. Adrian Peterson.
Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play, now joined by the one and only Marcus Allen at the Mr. O Celebrity Golf Classic. Now, first and foremost, Reggie gets everybody out with just one quick phone call, probably even just a text. Why do you come out strong for him?
I love the dude. He's awesome. I grew up watching him. He's an icon. He was sort of a force of nature when I was growing up. Just his determination, his will, and then he's translated that into doing things for people off the field and stuff. And I think we're like-minded when it comes to you're rich by what you give and you're poor by what you keep. And so that's why we're here. He's a good dude.
Speaking of that specifically, I mean, this foundation is built to equip kids with the tools they need to go out into the world and do great things like you guys have done. Why is that specifically so important?
Well, they're the future, right? And we realize that there's two types of people, those who know and those who don't. And the people that know the most usually go the furthest. So.
Last one, since you're talking about those who know, do you want to weigh in? I know you're a former Chief. Do you have a Super Bowl prediction you can give me on the way out?
Well, they're looking pretty darn good. Mid-season, everybody was questioning their play and stuff, and Andy Reid, and of course, obviously the quarterback's amazing, but defensive coordinator Spagnuolo's done an amazing job too. So it always seems like they have a new wrinkle every single time. That you just can't. Just say this is what the Chiefs are going to do, because they always have something new for you and stuff. So you got to stay on your toes when you play them.
I said lastly, but I mean, what gave you confidence in Antonio Pierce there with the Vegas Raiders?
He's a leader of men, and you know what? I asked him the question. I said, "What business are you in?" He says, "I'm in the people business," and I understand that, and he understands that. So that's great.
Now approaching tee number 3, we have Mr. Marcus Allen. Now approaching the tee, Mr. Stevie Watt. Now approaching the tee, the other Steve, Mr. Steve Ferris. Next to approach the tee, Mr. Greg DeCastros. And last but certainly not least, from Marcus Allen Sports, we have Mr. Neil Nahum at the tee. Did I say it right? Oh, otherwise known as Mr. Wedge Wedge.
Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play, joined by Michael Brantley, legendary Houston Astro. Can we first start off with being able to come back and give back close to home for you? Why was this just such an easy sell? Because not only is it close to home for these Stros, but where you grew up at.
Well, this is a great charity, and I had the honor of playing in it a couple times already. And I had the honor of meeting Reggie and, having Reggie help me out on the baseball field and just learning some knowledge from him. So anytime I get to support, especially someone from the Houston Astros organization, I want to make sure I can get there and, be a part of it and see all the smiling face and enjoy the tournament.
What does it mean to you to be able to give, underserved kids not just a platform, but the tools to be able to go out and succeed and make them kind of attractive to career opportunities as well as whatever they want to do next in their life? Yeah,
it's a tremendous honor, right? To be a part of somebody's journey, a process, to hear all the great stories and what this charity does for them, and it's all positive, and that's what you want to be around. And just thankful enough to be invited, and I enjoy it.
And you experienced a lot of spring trainings in West Palm Beach. What's it like now to know that Travis Scott is bringing his foundation and putting his name and his tequila brand on the ballpark there? I'm sure the games are already fun at the ballpark of the Palm Beach. It's going to heighten up a little bit going forward, huh?
Yeah, it's a tremendous honor, right? Like, it's something different. I know it's going to be fun. We had a chance to try the drinks and a couple holes back, and they're delicious. So the fans are going to enjoy them. So it's going to be fun.
Good. Hit them straight, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
First to the tee is the youngest of the group, Mr. Jeremy Pena. Now approaching the tee, we have Mr. Jeff Bagwell. Now approaching the tee, Mr. Kyle Tucker. Mr. Mauricio Dubon. Next up to the tee, Mr. Michael Brantley. And last, but certainly not least, we have Mr. Enos Cabell.
Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play, and standing next to the very own Anthony Rizzo. We have so many great stories to tell about, obviously, his career days before, his career days in the Major League Baseball. But how about we talk about, first and foremost, your recruitment with FAU. You were almost an owl. FAU is almost like one of the more nationally recognized names now thanks to that March Madness run. But what do you remember from being recruited to go to Boca Raton and Coach Mack trying to get you to play baseball for him?
Yeah, I mean, my brother was going there and playing football. It's close to home, and Coach Mack was there. I believe he's still there. He put together a really, really sound program, and I was committed to go there. And, fortunately for me, I chose the right path, but if not, I've definitely felt comfortable going there.
Got you. So almost an owl. We can celebrate that. What did your brother kind of tell you about his days at FAU? We covered him so extensively, and he's kind of an FAU icon.
He loved it. Played football there all 4 years. Met his wife there, so he still goes to all the games. He still goes to the football games. So, it's so close to home that it's nice to see the football program. It's nice to see everything there grow.
And let's talk specifically about the Mr. October Foundation. The reason why we're here, they do so much to help give a platform to the underserved youth and give them a chance to go out into the world and do great things. Why is that important to you, and is that one of the big reasons why you came out here today?
Yeah, I think it's, you give people opportunities that they normally wouldn't get through this foundation, and to be able to get an opportunity that you can't get anywhere else could be a huge stepping stone for someone in a tougher position in life.
Appreciate it again, Anthony Rizzo. Hit him straight today, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Now approaching hole number 3 to the tee box, the one, the only, Anthony Rizzo. Next to the tee, Mr. Jerry Lasky. Next to the tee, we have Mr. Blake Lasky. Next up, Mr. Sam Seiden. Last but certainly not least, to the tee, Mr. Noah Seiden.
Jorge Posada there, Theo Dorsey here, ESPN West Palm Play. We're at the Floridian, Mr. O Foundation celebrity golf outing here. And what brings you here? What about the cause makes you kind of invigorated to come out here and play some golf?
Well, it's always about the kids, right? So, he's been doing this for a while, and he asked me probably about 10 years ago. And I've been a solid contributor and a solid guy to be here. you know, I think Reggie's just a special guy for me, and what he's doing with his kids and, you know, making sure that the kids are raised the right way is very important to me.
You talk about that, and specifically it's about the youth, right?
Yeah.
It's about pouring into them, giving them the platform so that they can go out and be well in their careers. Why is that so important, especially for somebody like Reggie Jackson to be so involved in?
Yeah, you know, when he first told me about it, I didn't know much about it, and then, you know, he told me what he does, and I just said I'm on board. You know, he's been doing this for a long time, and you know, he just asked me. I said, yeah, I'm on board. Just let me know when and with time, so I can make the arrangements. And you know, now that he's in Florida, I'm in Florida, so it's a lot easier.
I heard it's been a lot of fun today. How have you been enjoying it?
Very good, very good. I think we're in the hunt, so we got a good group, and we're having a lot of fun.
All right, appreciate it.
No problem.
Keep it going.
Now approaching the tee at hole number 3, Mr. Miles Martin. Next to the tee, Miles' brother, Jack Martin. Next to the tee, Mr. Jorge Posada. Now approaching the tee at hole number 3, the baddest saxophone player on this side of the Mississippi, Mr. Mike Phillips. And last, but certainly not least, we have Mr. Craig Blair.
Well, it's Theo Dorsey, ESPN West Palm Play. I got the one and only Roger Clemens here. He's wearing his Hook 'em Horns shirt, but what we're really out here repping, I know Horns Up is a real big deal right now, and I won't offend y'all with the Horns Down stuff. What we're really here repping is the Mr. O Foundation. What Mr. October does, them giving all of these different children platforms and the skills they need to go out in the world and succeed. Why is that important to you?
Well, I've had my foundation, the Roger Clemens Foundation, for 30 years, and we deal with at-risk children and special needs. And Reggie's in the same boat. I think that you see everybody out here, where they call us celebrities or whatever. We're here to help those kids, and that's why you see everybody that's really good in their profession come out here. You get to enjoy the game of golf, get out, play at a wonderful golf course here at the Floridian. But Reggie's always special in my heart. My story with Reggie, I've told it many times, and he was one of the main reasons why I wanted to get on the fast track when I first signed professionally to get to the big leagues so I could face Mr. October. And it worked out.
I was about to say, how'd that go for you?
Well, it went good. I had a couple strikeouts against him early, and then, of course, he hit a 2-run homer. And but it was fun. I mean, it was a treat for me facing him. He knows the deal, and but he does a great job out here. Great turnout of really friends, because you see so many familiar faces. I see the guys quite a bit, and there's some that I only see once a year, so it's really cool.
I have a question for you, man. Did you ever give football a try at all, playing some QB? Because you look at some of the guys that are dominated at the next level right now, like Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. They got that baseball throwing motion style. They're kind of savvy with it. Was that ever a thing for you?
Yeah, no, I was a defensive end. So I played a little tight end too, but I was a defensive end. And I kind of had what you would say football mentality when I was on the mound pitching too. I was pretty aggressive. In the strike zone especially. But, I love football. I love watching the guys that play multiple sports, and absolutely. It sounds like the player in the family just smacked one for us again. The golfer in the family.
I heard y'all are the Rangers for this group right here.
Oh, yeah, we're trying.
Lastly, can you explain it to me? I'm a Texas, I'm a Houston native. What is so offensive about the Horns Down? Give the people the knowledge on this.
Well, you got to understand, when you do Horns Down, it just tells me that we're in your mind. Horns are always up, but when you do Horns Down, we're still in your mind. You're still giving it to us. So you just can't get away from us. So just keep doing it.
That's right. You heard it from him personally. Appreciate you.
Next to hole number 3, we have the foursome of Mr. Roger Clemens. First to the tee, we have Mr. Bob Bantle. Next up, Mr. J.D. Carabino. Now approaching the tee at hole number 3, we have Mr. Doug Albert. Next on hole number 3, Mr. Tom Connolly. Now teeing off at hole number 3, the better Clemens, Mrs. Debbie Clemens. Now approaching the tee on hole number 3, we have Mr. Roger Clemens.
Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play, and I'm standing here next to Andrew Jones. First and foremost, we're here for the Mr. O Foundation, the celebrity golf outing here. Specifically what they do, they provide children that need it most with the skills that they need to go out in the world and be successful. Why is that important for you?
Well, I mean, we need more people like that to be, doing stuff like that in the world to keep these kids into the right line, on the right guidance, and trying to make this world a better place. Mr. October been doing this for a long time, and knowing that what he did in his career as a baseball player, and now what he's doing off the field and trying to help others is something that we all here to support. We all have foundation that we do stuff to help kids because we know what the future is for the kids, and we want them to come out and make this world a better place.
I asked earlier, John Schmoltz, I said, all right, you get anybody, who's the one name that you want to see join you in Cooperstown, and who deserves it the most? Do you want to have a guess at who you think he said?
I don't know, probably, we teammate, probably me, I don't know. But
he did say you. What say you to that?
He saw me play. He saw, how I went about my business, and, if it happened one day, it will be a great honor. But, your peers recognize what kind of player you were for them and for the team, and help the team win and help the team win championship. And that's all that matters. If your peers know what you did, the fans know how you went about your business, that's all that matters. And if it happened in Cooperstown, like I said, it will be a great honor, and it will be, a great time for the, Braves country and, the island of Curacao, and, to have one of the first guys to make it in the Hall of Fame.
Great. We're rooting for that as well. Appreciate your time, and keep hitting them straight.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right.
First to approach the tee, Mr. Matthew Erlinson. Next to the tee, Mr. Zach Stover. Next to the tee, Mr. Jake Olinger. Next to the tee, Mr. David Burning. And last, but certainly not least, the ringer of the group, Mr. Andrew Jones.
Dorsey here with ESPN West Palm Play here at the Mr. O Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic. And I got Marshall Falk here, who reminded me earlier, you don't share your backfield.
I don't share my backfield. Single back only, man.
Well, he made a career doing that, so I'll respect that decision. What you do share is your ability to come out here and help promote what the Mr. O Foundation is all about, and that is equipping kids with the skills that they need to be attractive to career opportunities. Why is that important to you?
It is important to me, and not just that it's important to me, but a man of his stature and all that he's done in his life, to put his attention and turn his focus to that. It's a no-brainer for me to come out here and lend my likeness to help him fundraise, and I get an opportunity to play with some amazing guys and get to know some other people. But it's the impact that you have, and in life, regardless of what you do, your impact that you leave and that legacy that you build, it starts to transcend you. And I think what Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, is doing is it's going to, go beyond what he did in baseball.
And that's really the big part of it is, you guys do so much on your playing days, but it's what you do afterwards that leaves that real legacy. What are you kind of most proud of looking back on your legacy, both on the field and what you were able to do in the communities?
Well, in the communities, being able to start a charter school in the city of St. Louis, all the work that I did in the community in Indianapolis, the stuff I continue to do in and around San Diego, the endless amount of charities that I work with in Texas, all of those things are, they mean a lot to me, because it shows that what was invested in me in the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, and all the things that was necessary for me to be who I am, I'm giving back. I'm finding ways to put those, add some resources, to give some opportunities the same way I was given an opportunity.
I have a question. We're here in South Florida. There was a lot of flirting around with, this Dolphins team, greatest show on turf stuff going on. Now, how were you kind of taking that in as an innocent fan who also might have a little bias there?
I think in the regular season they were really close, man. But as I said, and this is no knock on, it's just how their team is built. When you're that kind of team, what teams want to see you do when you get in the playoffs is, can you turn around and hand the ball off? You got a guy that can get 3, 4, 5 yards when it's not perfectly blocked, and that's the issue that they ran into. And once that happened, and you become one-dimensional, and you can only throw the ball downfield, you become easy to defend.
Lastly, can I just get a quick Super Bowl prediction from you?
Listen, man, I'm going with Mahomes. You go into Buffalo, you win. You go into Baltimore and win. At a neutral site, it's just hard to pick against him.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Appreciate you. Yep.
Right on.
We have Mr. Marshall Folks foursome. Oh, Bob Tillis is going first. All right. Next to the tee, we have Mr. Yaron Rosenthal. Next to the tee, Mr. Andrew Bluestone. Next to the tee, Mr. Greg Mousen. And last, but certainly not least, to show everybody how it's done, Mr. Marshall Falk.
Theo Dorsey, ESPN West Palm Play. We're here at the beautiful Floridian, and I'm standing next to the great Gary Sheffield. First and foremost, I keep hearing from everybody, especially the baseball players, when Reggie Jackson calls, you pick up that phone and you answer whatever he needs you to do. Why is he important to you, and why are you here today playing for him?
Well, you always say yes to Reggie. You can't, discredit what he's done for the community for so many years, and he's a legend of the game. I grew up, big fan of his, watching the Yankees, and he carried the torch. He was the straw that stirred the drink. So, what he's been doing for the inner city kids and underprivileged and things in the community is second to none.
You obviously his baseball legacy is never going to be forgotten. A lot of people don't know what he's been actively doing for years, and specifically about this tournament itself. For you, obviously you're more in the know about it, but why is that important for those kids that don't have the tools maybe or are underserved, for him to go, I'm not going to just hope that you guys get it. I'm going to intentionally go into those communities and equip you all so you can get to that next level?
Well, he's been doing it for so many years. When I came in the league, he talked to me about foundations and giving back to the kids and passing the stairs down and let kids come up. And that's how you do it. You get out and you touch them, let them see you, and you talk to them. Not just give you money. Your presence is everything.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Well, good luck out there on the course.
All right, thank you.
All right, now at the tee, Mr. Gary Sheffield. Next to the tee, Mr. Dave McMillan. Next to the tee, Mr. Brian Burke. Next to the tee, Mr. Mike Kelp. Last, but certainly not least, you have Mr. Jeff Eisenbarth.
Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play with Ken Griffey Jr., the kid. The waves?
Nice.
I appreciate you. That's the second compliment I got him all day, but that means the world to me. You're the kid. You're the one. What is it like to be out here and also celebrating for a guy like Mr. October himself, who I'm sure is a legend in his own right to you?
Well, Reggie's done unbelievable things on and off the field, and to support him, it means the world to me. He calls me. We probably talk, once or twice a month. Check in on him all the time, make sure he's all right. He checks in on me and the family, but he's one of those guys that, when he's out on the field, he's a competitor and he's a dog, but when you get him off the field, you get a chance to know him, and I've got a chance to know him for the last 30 years.
What he's doing right now is creating a platform and pouring into the students, the kids who need it the most. Why is that important, and why is that something that you're willing to show up and take time out of your day to support?
When guys go out of their way and they have a belief and you believe in them, you have to support them. And every year I come here, it takes a 2-hour drive for me, but it's something that it's needed. We need to close the gap from education to get these kids to be number one in the world.
First, to approach the tee, we have Mr. Sean O'Fallon. Next to the tee, we have Mr. Mike Rogers. Now, coming to the hole, number 3, to the tee, Mr. John Rogers.
Dr. Dre is at the door.
Next to the tee, we have Mr. Andy Sells. And last, the last tee shot off hole number 3 today, we have Mr. Ken Griffey Jr.